So dear students, in the last class we have discussed about a portion of sexual reproduction and we will continue with that today. Now here we will review what we have studied in the last class. Now I will put it in a different way. Let us start it as per your course mentioning, that is the structure of a flower. I will put it in that way so that it will be easier. We have discussed that a flower has a pedicel, which is the stalk. Here it is written stem. Now which is stalk. There is calyx, individual parts are sepals. This is meant for protection. There is corolla. The individual parts are petals, and these are meant for pollination, attraction of insects. And there is androecium. It is not here written here. This male part is androecium and the female part is gynoecium. The individual structure of the male part is the stamen, this one, which has a filament and an anther, and the female part is also known as pistil, and the individual part of the female part is known as carpel. Now here a single carpel is shown. Now the carpels may be single or more than one. If it is more than one, they may be united, that is called apocarpus, and they may be free, that is polycarpus. And the pistil or gynoecium has three portions. Now this is the ovary, where the ovules or seeds develop. This is style, the long part, and this is the stigma. Now this is the structure of the flower. Now here we find that the main sexual reproductive parts are stamen and carpel. Now stamen is the male reproductive structure and carpel is the female reproductive structure. Now let us look into the other details. Now what is sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction is, this is the stamen. Sexual reproduction is the process in which we have a union of male and female gametes. Now in asexual reproduction there are no male and female gametes, and in vegetative reproduction there are no male and female gametes, but in sexual reproduction there are male and female gametes. The male and female gametes fuse to form the zygote. The male gamete has n number of chromosomes and the female gamete has n number of chromosomes, but the plant itself has 2n number of chromosomes, that is diploid. Now when the male and female gametes fuse, they form the zygote, and the zygote develops into a new plant. Now this is the life cycle in angiosperm. Now to understand this clearly, I am showing two more slides here which will make you clearly understand what do we mean by all these gametes union and all that. Now in plants, algae, fungi and bryophytes, we find clear alternation of generation. What is alternation of generation? That is, there are two generations. One is sporophyte with 2n number of chromosomes or diploid, and the other is gametophyte with n number of chromosomes, and this is haploid. Now, in bryophytes, algae and fungi, the gametophytic generation and sporophytic generation are almost equal. Now, you can clearly distinguish the gametophytic generation and sporophytic generation. Whereas in angiosperms it is different. Before going to the angiosperms, let us see here. This is the sporophyte. I told you that the sporophyte has 2n number of chromosomes, that is diploid. Now see, this cell of a sporophyte, which is spore mother cell, divides to form what are called spores. Now this division, which leads to the formation of spores, is called meiotic division or reduction division. Here the 2n number of chromosomes are reduced to n number of 2n is reduced to n number of chromosomes. Now this is the sporophyte. Now inside the sporophyte there are sporangia, and the sporophyte develops spore mother cells in the sporangium, and these spore mother cells undergo reduction division or meiosis to form haploid spores. So these haploid spores undergo repeated division to form the gametophyte. Now the gametophyte is haploid. Now this haploid gametophyte has got gametangium. Gametangium is like sporangium. In sporangium, spores are formed, and in gametangium, the gametes are formed, and the gametes fuse to form the zygote. Now, after fusion, the zygote undergoes mitotic division to form the sporophyte. Let me repeat the cycle again. There is a sporophyte. The sporophyte is diploid with 2n number of chromosomes. Now, the sporophyte has sporangium. The sporangium develops spore mother cells, which are also diploid, and the spore mother cells undergo meiotic division to form spores. Meiotic division is reduction division. The spores are haploid. Now, the haploid spores undergo mitotic division to form haploid gametophyte, and the gametes which are the gametophyte has gametangium, and as sporangium gives spores, similarly gametangium gives gametes, and but here the division is mitosis, that is equational division, and the gametes, male and female gametes, fuse to form zygote, and zygote develops into sporophyte. This is the life cycle of a typical plant. Now this type of life cycle, in which both the sporophytic generation and the gametophytic generation are almost distinctly seen, are seen in lower plants, that is algae, fungi and bryophyta. Now in case of angiosperms, we have seen the structure of the flower. There is no clear-cut half-half division of sporophyte and gametophyte. Here what happens is, the sporophyte generation is almost dominating, and the gametophytic generation is restricted only to the anther in some portions and ovule in other. How it is restricted, we will decide. Now I will show it through the diagram. Now you see, this is the anther and this is the ovary. The anther itself is diploid, the ovary is diploid, and inside the ovary there is ovule. Now the ovule acts as the megasporangium and here the microspore mother cell act as, the anther acts as microsporangium. Inside the microsporangium, microspore mother cell develops, and here the megaspore mother cell develops. The microspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form spores, as in the case of sporophyte we have seen earlier. And the megasporangium, where the megaspore is formed, where it is diploid, it also undergoes meiosis to form megaspore, which is haploid. Now this spore develops into microspore, which develops into pollen grain with exine and intine that we have discussed in the last class, and it reaches the stigma through the pollen tube. Now here what happens is, by meiosis this megaspore is formed, that by division forms what is known as embryo sac. It is not shown here. Embryo sac, which has an egg cell. We will see it little later. Now the egg and the male nucleus, they combine to form zygote, and the zygote again develops into sporophyte. So the gametophytic generation here is restricted only to this portion. The rest of the portion is sporophytic generation, and it is dominating. Now we will again review. Now the anther has 4 microsporangia. We have just discussed about microsporangia. These are the microsporangia, and the anther has different walls that you can study. The important thing is it has a stomium at this portion, at which helps in breakdown of the anther, and here there is sporogenous tissue which forms microspore mother cells, and these microspore mother cells undergo meiotic division to form microspores, and there is one layer which is called tapetum that provides food to the microspores. Now microspores are 4 microspores are formed from each microspore mother cell, because microspore mother cell is diploid, and by meiosis it forms a tetrad. Tetrad means together 4. Tetrad of microspores which separate and form the microspore, and the microspores develop into pollen grains. Now the anther bursts at the stomium, and the pollen grains are liberated. Now the pollen grain has 2 walls, exine and intine, and there is a nucleus. Let us stop here and go to the female structure. Then we will come back to this. So up to what we have studied? We have studied that the angiospermic plant is a sporophyte, the flower is a sporophytic part, then the calyx and corolla are diploid, the androecium part is also diploid in the beginning, it has anther, inside the anther there are microsporangia, these microsporangia have microspore mother cells, they undergo reduction division to form microspores which are haploid, and they transform themselves into pollen grains. Now coming to the female part, I told you already that the female part is gynosium, and the gynosium has an ovary, style and stigma. Now inside the ovary, inside the ovary, we find what is known as placenta. Placenta is the structure to which the ovule is attached. Ovule is the structure which later develops into seed. Ovules develop into seed. Now, this is an ovule. We have seen one ovule here. There may be many ovules in an ovary. Now, this is the structure of the ovule. Now, the ovule has usually two cover structures which are known as integuments. Outer integument and inner integument. Okay? Outer integument and inner integument. And inner to the integument, there is nucellus, Nucellus. Nucellus, a tissue, parenchymatous tissue here. Now, there is a stalk to the ovule which is called funicle, and the junction between funicle and the rest of the ovule is called hilum. And inside the ovule, finally the female gametophyte develops. This is the female gametophyte that has, this is the female gametophyte. This is the female gametophyte which has developed inside the ovule. Now let me repeat again. The ovary has, gynosium has ovary, style and stigma. The most important part is ovary. The ovary has a structure which is known as placenta, and to the placenta are attached ovules. There may be one ovule or many ovule. If you remember, if you have seen a section of a lady's finger, bindi, you will find that there are 5 chambers and small ovule-like structures are attached to the center, and the central portion is placenta, and the small structures are ovules which may or may not have developed into seeds. Now here a single ovule is seen. Now the ovule has different structures. It has a stalk called funicle, and there is the ovule main portion. The junction between the stalk and the main ovule is called hilum, and the base of the ovule is chalaza, and at the tip it is inverted. That's why it is looking like this. At the tip there is hilum, and at the center there is nucellus, and around this ovule there is integument, outer integument and inner integument, and inside the ovule, the final, or inside the nucellus, the final embryo sac develops. Now coming to types of ovules. I am doing it briefly because this is under morphology. Now we have seen earlier this ovule. This ovule is anatropous. Anatropous, where it is placed like this. This is the funicle, this is hilum, this is chalaza end, this is micropylar end, and these are integuments, and this is the nucellus, and this is embryo sac. This is anatropous ovule. This is the most common type of ovule found in 80 to 85% of angiosperms. Now, orthotropous ovule is a straight ovule where we have, this is the stalk or funicle, this is hilum, this is micropyle, this is chalazal end, these are integuments, and this is nucellus. This is orthotropous. And hemianatropous is transverse like this. The stalk is like this, and here it is bent at the tip, campylotropous, and here it is C-shaped, ampidiastropous, and this is circinate. You see, it has taken a total circle and it is again become up. This is called circinotropous. Now, orthotropous, anatropous, hemianatropous, campylotropous, ampidiastropous, and circinotropous. These are the types of ovules with respect to the position of hilum and funicle in respect to the chalazal and micropylar ends. But as I have told you, the most common type of ovule is anatropous ovule. The diagram clearly shows the anatropous ovule. Now, we have discussed about the anther. The anther has 4 lobes, and inside the 4 lobes, some details we have discussed in the last class also. There are 4 microsporangia. These are the 4 microsporangia. These microsporangia have microsporocytes or microspore mother cells. This is a microspore mother cells. The entire structure is diploid. The microspore mother cell or the microsporocyte is diploid, and this one undergoes meiosis, 2 divisions, to form 4 nuclei, and this is the tetrad, spore tetrad. Anther, microsporangia, microspore mother cells inside microsporangium. The microspore mother cells undergo meiosis, that is reduction division, 2 nuclei, then 4 nuclei. These 4 nuclei are haploid, and this is spore tetrad. The spore tetrad is a microspore, each one of it is a microspore. They get separated, 2-layered wall is formed, exine and intine, and it is called pollen grain. The pollen grain has a single nucleus. This nucleus divides into 2, but now the division is mitosis. Remember, up to this it is mitosis, and here it starts, and up to this it is mitosis, and then the pollen grain nucleus divides into 2, and that is pushed to one side, the nucleus, because of a vacuole. This is the vacuole, and the vacuole is present in vegetative cell, which is very large. It has a nucleus, and this is the generative cell. Now, which has also got a nucleus. These two nuclei are formed by the mitotic division of the nucleus that is present in the microspore or the pollen grain. Then the pollen grain nucleus, the generative nucleus, this is vegetative nucleus. Now this is the generative nucleus. The generative nucleus or which is released from generative cell. Actually this wall around generative cell is very simple. It is not full wall, so it can dissolve and the generative nucleus is liberated. This generative nucleus divides into two nuclei, and that is these two nuclei, and these two nuclei are called the male nuclei. These two are the male nuclei, and the male nuclei are formed, that is the male gamete, and the generative nucleus, which is this one, is now called tube cell, a tube nucleus which moves to the pollen tube. What is this pollen tube? In the microspore we have areas where it is thin, that is called germ pore, and through the germ pore the pollen grain germinates and forms what is known as pollen tube. And the pollen tube first gets the tube nucleus or vegetative nucleus and the two sperm cells or two male nuclei. Now this structure, how many cells it has? It doesn't have cells now, it has three nuclei. The three nuclei are the tube nucleus and two male nuclei. This is the mature gametophyte in case of anther or angiosperms. Now here you may recall I told you that in angiosperms the gametophytic phase is very small, and this gametophytic phase in this case is very limited. And what happens here? After the seed germinate, it forms a plant. The plant grows maybe for years and in some cases months. After months or years, the flowers develop. The flowers have anthers and ovary, and the anthers develop microspore mother cells and they form microspores. Ultimately, after so many months of time, the microspores come out. This is the phase where the haploid generation or gametophytic generation starts. Now this gametophytic generation ends after three nuclei are formed, that is tube nucleus and two male nuclei, and after fertilization the gametophytic phase is over. So that short period is the male gametophytic phase in the life cycle of an angiosperm. Now coming to the ovary, we said we'll show other diagrams also. Now you see, this is the ovule, whatever be the type of ovule. It has nucellus inside. I am not going to the other covers. The nucellus develops megaspore mother cell or megasporocyte. In the previous case, we called it microspore mother cell or microsporocyte. Here we call it megaspore mother cell or megasporocyte, which is 2N, that is diploid. This undergoes meiosis and forms 4 megaspores which are haploid. Now in anther also, the microspore mother cell formed 4 microspores. Here also 4 spores are formed which are megaspores. In anther, the 4 megaspores develop into pollen grains. But here, out of the 4 megaspores, most plants, some have deviations, 4 megaspores, 3 degenerate. 3 megaspores degenerate and 1 megaspore survives. This megaspore divides and redivides to form 8 nuclei. Now 8 are the number of nuclei inside the structure, 8, and of which by movement 3 move to the chalazal end, 3 move to the micropylar end, and 2 remain at the center. Actually what happens is, this nucleus divides into 2 and one nucleus remains at the chalazal end and the other nucleus remains at the micropylar end. Then they divide into 2. How many have become? Now 2, 2, micropylar end 2 and chalazal end 2. Now these 2 nuclei again divide mitotically to form 4. So 4 at the micropylar end and 4 at the chalazal end. And out of the 4 in the micropylar end and out of the 4 at the chalazal end, 3 nuclei move to the 2 nuclei move to the center, one from the chalazal end and one from the micropylar end, and they are located at the center. They are called polar nuclei, and at the chalazal end they are called antipodals, 3 antipodals. Remember this, 3 antipodals. And at the micropylar end, the 3 cells are called 2 synergids and 1 egg cell. And these synergids help in pollination or passage of pollen tube. We will see it in some other diagram again. Now you see, here the megaspore mother cell, the functional megaspore has developed into 2 nuclei. The 2 nuclei had developed into 4, and this again divided 4 here, 4 here. Of these 2 ends, one is chalazal end, the other is micropylar end. Now 2 nuclei move to the center. These are polar nuclei, and here micropylar end, and these 2 are synergids and this is egg, and these 3 are antipodals. The same is the final structure of female gametophyte. How many cells are here? 8. In male gametophyte we found 3, here there are 8. Now these are antipodals, these are 2 polar nuclei, these 2 are synergids, and this is egg. Now here you see that now I think we have understood. Now in your course you have male gametophyte and female gametophyte. Not simply mention of the gametophyte, development of male gametophyte and development of female gametophyte. So I will briefly give you a note of what is male gametophyte and what is female gametophyte. Now you may get a short note on this, how to attempt it. I will tell you. Now male gametophyte is the gametophyte of the angiosperms which finally have 3 nuclei. It is a very temporary phase confined to the pollen grain and its development, nothing else. Now, the development of male gametophyte actually can be initiated from the anther. How it happens? The anther has microsporangium microsporangium. You cannot write every detail in the gametophyte, it will be very lengthy. Now the anther has microsporangium. The microsporangium has microspore mother cells, or how many microsporangia are here? 4. It has microspore mother cells or microsporocytes. We have seen it in some slide. I will bring you to that. No. It has this diagram you can use. Now this is microspore mother cells or microsporophyte. Now this is diploid. It undergoes meiosis to form 4 nuclei. The 4 nuclei develop into 4 microspores. These are microspores and they are in the form of a tetrad, and the microspores develop 2 walls, exine and entine, and that is the microspore. And inside the microspore there is a single nucleus. The nucleus is pushed to one side, and this nucleus divides into 2 nuclei by, or 2 cells by mitotic division, and still it is n number, and one cell is vegetative and the other cell is generative. The vegetative cell is large and the generative cell is small. Now the vegetative cell and generative cell release the nuclei into the cytoplasm. This is the vegetative nucleus which develops into tube nucleus, and this is the generative nucleus. The generative nucleus divides mitotically into 2, which is called, these 2 are male nuclei. Now at this stage the pollen grain develops the pollen tube through the pore on the exine and entine, which is known as germ pore, and pollen tube first gets the tube nucleus and then the 2 male nuclei, and the development up to this is called the development of male gametophyte. Now coming to the development of female gametophyte. Now the female gametophyte development starts in the ovule. Now inside the ovule there is a tissue called nucellus. Where is the diagram? Inside the ovule, there is a tissue called nucellus. Now, inside the nucellus, a megaspore mother cell or megasporocyte develops. This megasporocyte, like microsporophytes, sporocyte, divides into 4 cells by mitotic division, and these 4 are haploid, of which generally 3 disintegrate and 1 remains. And this one megaspore develops into 8 nuclei. Now, in the next slide it is more clear. 8 nuclei. Of these 8 nuclei, 4 remain at the chalazal end and 4 remain at the micropylar end. Now, it is the reverse here. Here an orthotropous ovule is seen and here an anatropous ovule because it is reverse. Now, 2 nuclei come to the center. These 2 are polar nuclei, and these 3 are egg apparatus. 2 synergids and this is egg, and these 2 are polar nuclei and these are antipodals. Now, let us see, one more thing we have to mention here is that the function of these structures. Egg is the female gametophyte, female gamete. The 2 synergids help the pollen tube to enter into the egg and fertilize it, and polar nuclei. Now, if you recall, you remember that you have 2 male nuclei in the pollen tube. How many nuclei are there in the pollen tube? 3. One is tube nucleus, 2 are male nuclei, and one of the male nucleus through the pollen tube reaches the egg apparatus, and one of it fuses with the egg to form zygote, and the other fuses with the 2 male polar nuclei which we have discussed in female gametophyte or embryo sac, and form 3 nuclei. This is after fusion zygote, and this is the 3 nucleate structure which becomes triploid, 3N. This ultimately develops into endosperm, which provides food to the developing seed. So, this is fertilization, and the fusion of these 3 is called triple fusion. So, normally you get a short note on fertilization and triple fusion. Now, it is double fertilization and triple fusion. What is double fertilization? One fusion here and one fusion here, that is double fertilization. And this fusion of 2 gives rise to the zygote, and the fusion of these 3 gives rise to the endosperm, which is triploid. Endosperm is triploid and the zygote is diploid. Now we have completed that, as per your course, the development of male gametophyte and development of female gametophyte. Now we will discuss about pollination. Now, what is the pollination part with reference to the male gametophyte and the female gametophyte? What is the ultimate product of male gametophyte? It is pollen grain. What it has? A nucleus. Now, the nucleus divides into 2 that we have discussed, the generative cell and a large vegetative cell, small generative cell. The generative cell divides into two, but usually at the two cell stage, the pollen grains are liberated from the microsporangium, and they come out and they fall on the stigma. Now, the passage of the microspore or pollen grain from the point of release from the microsporangium or anther up to its falling on the stigma of the gynoecium is called pollination. Now, this passage, pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma, whatever be the name, whether it is self-pollination or cross-pollination, we will come to that. Now, in Oriya we call it Paraga Sangama, and self-pollination is Swaparaga Sangama and cross-pollination is Paraparaga Sangama. Now, as the name itself, first, what is pollination? Now, before starting this, let me remind you that pollination is a very important long question. And what are the long and short questions we will discuss in due course. Now, pollination is the process of transfer of pollen from the anther to the stigma. That is pollination.